Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. All right, in studio, Scott Deatherage, attorney and consultant in energy, environmental, and blockchain technology. Scott, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here. All right. You have over 30 years under your belt in your field of expertise. Before, I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse, but give us some background, some color on you. We've had some great conversations on the break throughout the show. You'll be coming back with other people in tow, but give us some background, some color on you before we get into the new tech that you're running across in the crypto world.
Sure. Thanks. First of all, thank you for having me, Michael. This is going to be great to have the opportunity to chat about this. So I graduated from Harvard Law School way back in 1987. Spent a lot of my time focused on environmental issues across the board, every industry, banks, private equity, real estate, oil and gas. And then about 15 years ago, started doing some work in the renewable energy space, wind, electricity generation, natural gas-fired power plants. In the last couple of years, I've done a bunch of work in solar farm leases, helping companies set up and sell companies and interest in their solar farms. And then about a year or so ago, I really got into blockchain technology, was introduced to me by a friend, how blockchain relates to electricity markets. And you know what? It was love at first sight, and I'm passionate about it and just think it's going to change the world.
All right. Tell me what some of the highlights are on these companies that you've gone through. Where do you think this whole thing is going to go? Nobody knows where it's going to end up, but where do you think it's going to head next? And how you're participating in this?
So I think most of the areas where you have a transaction, a sale of electricity, a sale of just about anything, the blockchain is a great way of recording that in a way that's immutable, it's not going to change, and it's transparent, and you can rely on it. So it's sort of automating the accounting, if you will. It also is a great way to preserve information, provenance. Think about blood diamonds, where the diamonds come from, how do you prove where they're coming from?
Oh, yeah.
They're working on it for food. Just a lot of areas where you want to know where it comes from. I've got a group called Four Park. They're actually taking a huge art collection and putting it on the blockchain. Because what happens in the art world? Fraud, fakes.
Oh, lot, yeah.
So they're going to put in the blockchain all the provenance for a piece of art. So if your question is, was this painted by Van Gogh or Van Smith,
Right.
you'll be able to know that.
So are you working with Heritage Auctions too? I mean, or Sotheby's?
I have not. Most of my work right now is in either cryptocurrency mining, electricity markets, retail electricity. How do you bring the blockchain to reduce our electricity costs? I have a group of friends that have a cryptocurrency hedge fund. So just a lot of different areas, but very exciting.
Tell me about that hedge fund. What are they buying?
Well, they're looking at things that are pretty reliable, like Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, the big, more established players, and then they analyze the technology. So they look at a company sort of like the technology we just talked about, algebraics, and they'll say, is the technology good? I don't want to buy a coin, what we call these altcoins, unless we know that it's a good technology, it's got a good team that knows what they're doing, and looking at where they are in their development. So they put a lot of their emphasis, and some of them are computer experts, computer technology experts. So they're not going to invest in something that's they don't think is a good technology that's going to have a role to play in the future. They want to make sure they got a good, reliable team. And so those are some of the critical things they look at.
Aren't they having trouble sometimes now determining whether it's a utility or a security coin? You know what I mean?
Well, the SEC has said we see a lot of security coins, but we don't see a lot of utility coins. And I think it's hard to make that differentiation right now.
It is.
And so a lot of the ICOs, at least in the United States, are getting the securities lawyers to review these things, following the rules, do the KYC or know your customer stuff so you know if you're an accredited investor. Because let's be honest, I mean, the average person is going to have a hard time understanding some of these cryptocurrencies and making a wise decision. So the SEC has basically said, we're here to promote capital, but we're also here to oppose fraud and misuse. And so in fact, some of the folks at the North Texas Blockchain Alliance that I work with have actually turned some people into the Texas Securities Bureau, and they've been shut down because when they see fraud, they want to get them out of the picture because it's bad for the whole industry for fraudsters to be out there.
Oh, absolutely. We got about 2 minutes left. Talk to me about some of the, and it's not your last interview, just the first one. Talk to me about some of the highlights on the tech that you mentioned on the break.
So one of the interesting things we're working on is really combining my expertise in energy, like environmental and blockchain. So we're actually trying to figure out how do we capture the value of nature. So in a big city like Dallas, we're actually scheduled to be the hottest city next to Phoenix over the next 20 years. So we're looking at how do you raise money, plant trees, use the Internet of Things and sensors and artificial intelligence, and put it all on the blockchain. And how do you capture that value of those trees in terms of reducing temperature, reducing local air pollution, then proving that works? And we're convinced that the blockchain, the Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence are going to let us do that, so we can sell a cryptocurrency or raise money that works.
Okay, so we're going to be reducing our carbon footprint here in Dallas with these new processes of planting plants or trees. That's one of them. I got like 30 seconds if you want to throw
Another great one is applying blockchain to the retail electricity business. We can reduce costs, make things more transparent, and the blockchain is the way to get there.
How do people reach out to you, Scott?
They can contact me by email at scott@sdeatherage, DEATHERAGE law.com.
Great. Scott, you've been a great guest. I'm going to have you back more so we can talk more about this, all right?
Sounds good. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Scott. All right, Scott Deatherage, sdeatheragelaw.com. His archive will be up on the website after 6 tonight. Thanks for listening to CEO Money. We'll be back tomorrow with great content for you.